everybody. I'm just tuning in to offer you the live video tutorial on the distributed property and partial products. So if you have any questions while I'm going through this, I can't stay on for very long, but I can at least go through the notes with you again and also work out a couple of extra examples. So that way, if you need help with your homework and you have some more questions, then you'll be able to watch it with explanation and work through problems with me at the same time. Now, if you miss the live stream, which is going on right now, then you can always watch the video playback and you can watch me work out problems over and over again until you feel like you have a good handle on it, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to turn the camera down so that you can see where I'm writing, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay. Let me readjust here. Okay, so if you have trouble hearing me, then just leave a comment and I'll try to fix it, but I'm pretty sure we should be okay. I didn't change any settings, so it shouldn't be a problem. But anyway, I just want to go over what we talked about yesterday when we were multiplying with arrays, okay? When we were multiplying with arrays, we saw a problem that may have been a little bit too big, so we have to break it up in order for us to have an easier time multiplying. And when you break it up, what you get are partial products, and you take the partial products, you add up the total, and the total after you've added is the product for the original problem, okay? Give me just 1 second. Let me do a minor adjustment. And then sometimes when we use an array, the problem starts to get a little bit too big. So it gets impractical for us to have to draw everything on grid paper. But you can keep the concept of breaking up the problem into smaller pieces and adding the partial products. And that's what we talked about today. Today we talked about the distributive property and partial products. Remember what we started out with was we had a group of kids and I wanted to give them something. And I only started out by giving a couple of kids what it was that I wanted to give out. And you all shouted at me and said it was unfair. You should let everybody have some if you're going to do it. And that's correct. Even in math, when you're distributing something, you want to make sure that you're distributing it to everything in the group and not just one. So the thing that's being distributed in this problem is the 7 times. So if I'm going to 7 times 400, then I also need to 7 times the 20 and 7 times 8. Okay? And that's what we have down here. 7 times 400 is written like this. Don't forget the plus sign, because we don't want to lose anything from our original problem. Then we're going to take the 7 times and distribute it to the 20. Then take the 7 times, distribute it to the 8. Okay? And where did I get the 400 and the 20 and the 8? Do you remember? This is the expanded form of 428. So remember when we were talking about expanded form of numbers, we expand it to show the value of each digit in their place. The 4 is in the hundreds place, so this is actually 400. The 2 is in the tens place, so this is actually 20. And the 8 is in the ones place, so it is just 8. And that's where I get these 3 numbers from. Then once we have it, we have multiplication problems where we can rely on just our basic facts. So here my basic fact is 7 times 4. And then we know that if we're multiplying by a multiple of 100, then we also have those 2 zeros at the end of our product. So 7 times 4 is 28. Count up the zeros and put them in your product. So it is 2,800. 7 times 20, your basic fact is 7 times 2, and that's 14. You've got a 0 here, so you have to put it at the end of your product as well. And 7 times 8, very simply, is 56. And once you have your 3 partial products, to find the total, you need to add them up. Line up the place values, complete your addition, and then the final answer is your total product for the original problem. And when we start out, it does look like it takes up a lot more room, but once you get the hang of it, then you can streamline the amount of room that you need to do your work. So this way, as I said earlier in class, this is one way to do it. You show the distribution, you write out the 3 multiplication problems, multiply, and then add. The second way to do it is a little bit more visual, and it brings us back to the concept of the array. When you have the array, to find the multiplication problem, you take your fingers, and wherever they meet, that's what those numbers are going to be multiplied. So 9 and 5, it multiplies right here. Down here I have 9 and 5, and that's why I have that multiplication problem. Here I have 9 and 6, where my fingers meet. That's where it's going to be multiplied. Here, 9 and 6, same thing right here. Just the same as if you were to check your work with the multiplication chart that is in the back of your composition notebook or in your homework planner. If you want to know what 7 times 9 is, you find 7 and 9. Wherever your fingers meet, that's what it is. 7 times 9 is 63. Okay? So remember, try to only use this when you are checking your work. Don't rely on it because you won't have this on the test. Okay? So here we go. Let's keep going. So again, with the array, you can draw a strip diagram that shows the expanded form on the top. You've got your multiplier on the side. And now you have your matrix where the 2 numbers, wherever they meet, that's what's going to be multiplied. So this is 7 times 400. Here, 7 times 20. And then all the way over here, 7 times 8. And then once I do my multiplication, I have the same 3 partial products as I did in my other method, and then when I add them up, I will have the same product. So you can do it. You can choose to show your work either way. You're going to end up with the same product. Okay? So you don't have to show your work both ways. You choose the way that's more comfortable for you, and then you go to it. Okay? So we worked through a few examples during class today, and I'm going to go through a few more examples so that you can either work the same problem out with me, or you can start on your homework and work side by side. All right, so let's say my problem is 7 times 684. Okay? How do we expand this number, 684? You can expand 684 by, if you need to label the place values, this is ones, tens, hundreds. So this is in the hundreds place, it's 600. 8 is in the tens place, so you're going to add 80. Don't forget the plus sign, that's very important. And then you have 4. So 600 plus 80 plus 4. You can't forget this part because that part was in the original problem. So let's do the distribution. This is what I'm distributing, and I need to go to everything in that group. The group is what's in the parentheses. So 7 times 600, I'm going to write that down. When we show our work, we need to write down what we're thinking. So if I distribute it to the 600, I need to represent it like this. Okay, this is how we show our work. And then I'm going to distribute the 7 times to the 80. Don't forget the plus sign. 7 times 80. Okay, don't forget the plus sign. Then I'm going to distribute one last time to that last member of the group. 7 times 4. So now I can rely on my basic facts and then fill in the zeros where they need to be. 7 times 6 is 42. Don't forget your zeros. Plus 7 times 8 is 56. Don't forget my 0. Plus 7 times 4 is 28. Okay, so now you have your 3 partial products. That's what you get after you multiply. And then my addition signs are there, so I'm just going to add them up. Line up your place values. 8, 8, 7, 4. The product, the total product of 7 times 684 is 4,788. Okay? This is the total product. Now, what if you wanted to work it out the other way? There's too many numbers here. All the arrows are confusing. Maybe this is not the best strategy for you if you're making a lot of mistakes with the plus signs and the parentheses. So you still need to expand that number. So we're going to keep this. Because I expanded it this way, I'm going to need 3 boxes. And I'm going to multiply everything times 7. So 7 times 600 is my first problem. 7 times 80 is my next problem. And 7 times 4 is my last problem. Okay, and pretty soon, once you get used to doing this, you can visualize the multiplication problem without having to write it in. You can if you want to. That helps to show your work and your thinking. But here, if I know 7 times 600, I see 7 and 6. I know that's 42 with 2 zeros. 7 and 8 is 56. And there's a 0 there. 7 and 4 is 28. And now I have the same partial products as I had before. 4,200, 560, 28. And what do? Well, just like in our model drawing from the last unit, when you have a strip diagram and you've got 3 numbers here, you can combine them to get the total. So what's the total? What do we have to do? We're going to have to add them up. Line up the place values. I got the same product that I got before. You see it? So you can use this method if it's easier for you to see, or you can use this method if it's easier for you to see. Either way, it will get you to the same product. But what I want you to do is I want you to see the expansion and then bring it back to the basic facts. 7 times 6, 7 times 8, 7 times 4, okay? We're trying to break up the work so it's not so overwhelming. Okay, let me see if there's any questions. Okay. So I can work through about maybe one or two more problems and then I have to go. So let me go ahead and change pages. So the next problem is going to be, where's my pen? My next problem is, let's do a 9 times 600, oh, 862. Let's do 9 times 862. So your first task is to go ahead and expand this number. Ones, tens, hundreds. That's 800 plus 60 plus 2. It's 9 times that, okay? Because those are the same thing. You've got to bring down the rest of the problem. Then you're going to distribute. 9 times 800 plus 9 times 60 plus 9 times 2. Okay? So now you're down to your basic facts. 9 times 8, 72. 9 times 6, 54. 9 times 2, 18. And we have an addition problem. Your total product is 7,758. What if you worked it out the other way? Can we get the same product? Let's expand that number again. Draw our matrix. 9 times 800. 9 times 60. 9 times 2. Okay, that's 7,200. 9 times 60. 540. 18. We're going to take those. We're going to grab the total, which is 7,200 plus 540 plus 18. I get the same product. Check, check. Okay? So again, on your homework, you don't have to show it both ways. Okay? You can show it this way or this way, but I do need to see the expansion. I need to see what you're multiplying. Then I need to see the addition problem. Okay? Make sure you're boxing your answers. Okay, I have time for one more and then I'm going to go because I have a meeting at another school. Okay? Let's do one more. Build some confidence. Again, if you have any last minute questions, you can get on and post something. Otherwise, I'm just going to assume you're going to tune in later. Okay? So here we go. Let's do 4 times 708. 4 times 708. How do you expand that number? Let's expand it. If you need to label your place values, you can. 7's in the 100 place. There's nothing in the tens. You can just do this if you want to, or you can just leave it out because you know anything plus 0 is itself. And then the 8 is in the ones place. Okay? So if you just did 700 plus 8, that's fine. Let's distribute. plus plus. Okay, again, if you left this off, you won't have this. Okay, so let's find our partial products. 4 times 7, 28, 100, plus anything times 0, 0. 4 times 8, 32. So my product is 2800 plus 32. The product is 2832. Okay? If you did it the other way, I'll just simplify it so you can see. Four times 700 and 4 times 8. Okay, add them up. You get the same product. Okay, so again, last time, it doesn't matter what method you choose as long as you show your work for everything. Okay, so Ms. Vell's got to run off to a meeting. If you have any questions, you can try to leave them on the Google Classroom. Remember our discussion about academic language. If I start seeing inappropriateness, then I'm just going to turn it off. It hasn't been a problem, so I don't want it to start. You guys have been very good and very respectful, so keep things going, okay? Keep it academic. So go ahead and start your homework. There are 8 problems. I'm going to go ahead and post it up here. So if you, for some reason, lost your homework on the way from school to home, then it's going to show up on this video right now. And then once you see it, you can pause the video to copy down the problems that you need to do your homework. Okay, so pause the video. Don't worry about this mess because all of your work for these 8 problems needs to be on a separate sheet of paper. Okay? Do not show any work on this page because there's not enough room for you to show your work, and I want to see you showing everything: the expansion, the multiplication, the addition, and the final product. Okay? I'm also going to take a picture of this along with the notes that were from the notebook today, and I'm going to post that on the Google Drive. Remember, you can log on to Google, go to Drive, click on Shared with Me, and the notes and this homework are going to be in the multiplication folder. Okay? So I'm going to sign off now and go upload those things. I hope you have a good time doing your homework tonight. I hope you're not struggling too much, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. Okay? See you guys later.